Just have faith. Has somebody ever come up to you with that phrase, just have more faith? You know, to be honest with you, sometimes I find that phrase a little offensive. It's almost as if like instantaneously, I'm just supposed to have more faith. You know, not too long ago, a woman had come up to me after I had just preached a message. And she came up to me and she said how just naturally gifted I am, how I have these gifts from the Lord. And the way she said it, it was almost like she implied that I had not prepped, I had not done anything in advance to prepare for that message. Like I walked onto the platform and just started preaching. Now the reality is that the Lord has graciously given me opportunities to practice. He's given me opportunities to fail. He's given me opportunities to go to school and better learn how to do this. It was almost as if she just thought I just showed up and I did it without any practice. This week, Ron preached from Matthew chapter 14, where there's this storm that happens and the disciples are terrified, and Jesus then appears to them on the water. And at first they think it's a ghost, and then they realize that this is Jesus. And so Peter says, Lord, if it's you, call me out. And so Jesus says, come. One of the things that we forget about Peter at this moment is how much time he's spent with Jesus. You know, I think that Peter has this confidence to leave the safety of the boat and go out to Jesus is because he has been practicing his faith. Now, what we know about Peter is that his faith is actually far from perfect. And as we get further into Matthew, we're going to see some of Peter's shortcomings. But Peter has spent significant time practicing his faith with Jesus. I once heard a story about a pastor who was leading this small group, and in the small group, this man says, if I win the lottery, I'm going to give half my winnings to the church. And he was saying it in kind of a pious way. He wanted everybody to hear how generous he would be if he won the lottery. He would give half of it to the church without even thinking about it. He would just give half. And the pastor asked, how are you giving now? Are you giving half of what you have now? And the man says, well, of course not. I don't have very much. But you can be assured when I win the lottery, I'm going to give it. I'm going to give half of it. And so what the pastor said is, well, if you've never practiced giving half, how are you going to do it when you have a lot? You know, faith is kind of like that. Faith is something that develops over time. It takes practice. To trust God in the big things, sometimes it takes learning to trust God in the small things. I don't know about you, but maybe there's been times where you've seen people around you struggling with faith, struggling to trust God. And maybe our response, rather than just saying, have more faith, should be, how can I help you increase your faith? This week in our Life Lab, we're going to talk about how to trust God in the small things, how to practice our faith so in the big things we can have faith.